Yes, we are finally back with another episode of platinuming every country in the world. We've made a tiny dent on the world map already, but for this episode, I was going to tackle not one country. No, wait, it's still a country. I'm not exactly sure what the correct geopolitical term is, but I'm going to platinum all 5 countries in the United Kingdom. Now hold up, I know what you're thinking. Ireland isn't part of the UK. And that would be correct, but for the sake of making this video, I'm going to group them together. So we might as well get that country out of the way first. Home to 5.1 million people, land of the Guinness, redheads, Gaelic football, and the country that has the most PS2s per capita, Ireland has a small but growing gaming market. But when looking for games that are developed here, I didn't find much except for one, and that was Void Interactive's Ready or Not. This was a game I wasn't ever expecting to come to PS5, but welcomed with open arms because it's right up my alley. However, this 80-hour, 8 out of 10 buggy game was going to be an experience. Oh my god, stop fucking crashing, dude. I load into the tutorial and already got stuck twice because the game wouldn't allow me to trigger my squad's commands, but I was able to make my first arrest. Hey boy, do a glitch. Struggling with the tutorial so far, but hopefully this will be good. To get the platinum though, I was going to have to finish the campaign, S-rank every mission, and then play through it again on the highest difficulty with permadeath. The first mission gave me a good idea of what to expect. Move in with my SWAT team, eliminate or capture the enemies, and rescue the civilians. I completed it to get an A+ rank, so my only goal for now was to play through all missions to get familiar with the game, getting miscellaneous trophies along the way for breaching 20 doors and arresting 50 suspects. The settings for these missions were so cool because they were so realistic that it was deadass like tough and heavy to play. Like there's some funny ones like this, but there's also some fucked up things in the world and this game depicted those very well. I did die a lot because my fast movement ass was often a bit too greedy, but I had to play this more like something like 6 Siege with slow tactical placements. It had a bit of a learning curve which I enjoyed, but that's also when I got my first of many crashes. Are you serious? I'll touch on this more in a bit, but this would be a regular occurrence throughout my entire platinum journey. I was making my way through each mission one by one, arresting suspects that would listen and shooting others that wouldn't, popping so many random trophies throughout, like arresting someone that was faking their death. Playing through them until I had beaten all 18 missions, which meant it was time for the first hard part to get all the S ranks. I hadn't gotten a single one yet because apparently the only way to get an S rank is when you don't kill any suspects, so I had to use non-lethal weaponry from now on, making sure to arrest everyone and find all of the evidence. And to my genuine surprise, this was super easy. Wow, that was super easy. All I had to do was secure the outside perimeter of the mission, and then clear buildings floor by floor using non-lethal flashbangs and beanbag weapons. Sometimes it was frustrating when I was roaming around the map for 27 minutes looking for the final piece of evidence only to not get an S rank at the end because for some reason the beanbag shotgun is still a kill to the head. But it's fine because I was getting through most levels on my first attempt, even popping trophies such as disarming 10 tripwires. But then it was time for the Greasy Palms level. Remember how I mentioned that one crash a little ago? Well, you should because it's only been like a minute or so, but that was far from the only crash I had. Truth be told, I had one every other mission. Like seriously, I could be on a great run and the game would randomly crash, making me do the whole thing again. It was happening far too often and really started to irritate me, and with Greasy Palms supposedly being one of the hardest missions to S rank, this would make an interesting combination. Shoot! Shoot! I'm alive. Why wouldn't you shoot, you dumb fuck? Oh, I'm dead anyway, bro. What are we doing? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How am I not dead? No. What was that? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. I can't play this game, bro. I can't play this game. It's crashing every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes. I can't do this. I really want to enjoy this game, bro. I really do, because I am enjoying it, but it's unplayable. I'm not exaggerating when I say that, by the way, but I hoped reinstalling it would fix things. Oh, I don't want to jinx it, but this is a good run. Please do not crash. Don't crash. Don't crash. Don't crash. Don't crash. Don't crash. Don't crash.
Talk to Element. Great work, entry team. That's a wrap.
I decided to give it one more shot before calling it a day, but thankfully I managed to get the S rank the next day, but I would have gotten this so much earlier if it wasn't for the many crashes. So I carried on with the other S ranks, even getting the trophy on the America Simulator level by defusing 2 bombs within 2 minutes. That's a very 6 siege trophy, but I somehow managed to get that first try and then finish with an S. By the way, have I mentioned the AI in this game yet? I think I should. I have 4 absolute god tier brain dead SWAT teammates with me at all times. The horrendous commands I had to give them wouldn't work so often, leaving them just standing there like idiots. And it was a chore to pick the right command because of the stupid menu system, but when they did work, this game was amazing. Fuck me, this game's tense, bro. I only had a few S ranks left, including this other infamous hospital one, which was another nightmare. This had horrible pathing, enemies shooting through tiny gaps and walls, 2 bombs on a timer, hostages and self-destructing enemies. Bro, it was by far the hardest mission for me and required my utmost focus. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. There was another trophy here for disarming both bombs within 2 minutes again, which I also got on my first try again, but that didn't mean this mission was any easier. Oh my god, I can't take this anymore. What the fuck? After about 4 hours of playing just this mission over and over again, crashing many times in between, I eventually managed to get an S rank and was ready for the final S rank I had left. This last one though is a huge map with a lot of enemies and big open areas. The enemies will have a line of sight on you at all times and will hide all over the place. This has to be the final enemy. Don't be stupid. Thank you. Tell me that's the last one. Chaos complete. No way, there's more. What? Where is this suspect, bro? This map's way too big. Oh no. What if it's glitched? Oh my god, nope, it wasn't glitched. Holy shit. Where did he come from? I hope that wasn't too much to not S rank it now. You got double stunned. Please tell me this is the one. Yes! Search and secure. Come on, boys. I sent my squad to search for the remaining evidence, but their AI brains didn't work, so they just stood still again and left me to search through the huge map on my own for one tiny thing on the ground. But after looking through each corner of the map for over 25 minutes and not finding anything, I stumbled across the door I hadn't closed for the main objective.
This is Talk. Great job, entry team. Come home for debrief.
Yes! Oh my god, dude. That is pathetic waste of time. Well, time for the actual hard part now. Before doing that though, I wanted to knock out 2 easy miscellaneous trophies. Sadly, the coffee machine here didn't offer any Irish coffee, but I drank 5 regulars instead. And then made my way over to inspect some evidence. There wasn't a single Irish criminal, SWAT team or mission, so that was a shame because this fictional American city definitely could have used the Irish to cheer them up. Anyway, it was now time for the hardest part of the Platinum, where I had to finish the entire campaign, again, on the hardest difficulty without dying or losing an officer. Basically, nobody's allowed to die, which seemed impossible, but I had a trick up my sleeve. I equipped the team with some overpowered grenade launchers and loaded into the first mission. Here, I really noticed how much more aggressive and harder hitting the enemies were. They didn't listen to our instructions as easily and weren't cooperative at all. However, using a real gun and not an airsoft beam gun meant that this was nice to get through without too much trouble. But on the next level where we swatted this hilarious streamer again, I got beamed and died, meaning my permadeath save would be deleted and I had to start fresh at the first mission again. However, because the game screwed me over many times already, I was going to do the same and simply close app, which would negate the death and I could retry the mission. Suck my wiener, Irish devs. So I replayed and beat the level next attempt, really having to be more smart and tactical about every move because any mistake would kill me. Each mission had its own things to watch out for, and sometimes the game would even restart me before I could. Sometimes I would die, and a lot of sometimes my teammates. But I was always struggling with my loadout now and wasn't sure what to use, so I don't know if I was using the right things or not, but I kept switching every attempt, eventually settling on the riot shield. I managed to fight my way through greased palms again, managing the atrocious AI that would die themselves, before beating it and coming across East High again. Here I realized the higher difficulty also added more enemies and traps to the levels, so I was closing app a lot on this mission once again, as I found it incredibly tough. But when I closed my app a little too slow after dying, I realized I fucked up. No way, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, this game is now driving me insane. I was about to say I'm actually enjoying it, if it wasn't for the crashes, and now I have to do over half of the playthrough of fucking again. Oh my god. You know when your heart sinks and you heat up all internally? That's kind of what I was going through there, but there was one thing. The trophy tracker still says I have 10 out of 18 done. So what I think I'm gonna do is continue where I left off on the original playthrough and then do Iron Man mode all over again, but on an easier difficulty. If that's the case, please God let me, just please, Ireland save me, please. So I continued on my original playthrough, playing the remaining 8 missions on hard, and then do a new permadeath run again. Yeah, it kinda sucks, but it's what I have to live with now, eh? I load back into the level again to continue where I left off, but couldn't find the bombs. Oh my god, where's this bomb? I'm gonna lose it now because I don't have a bomb. Oh, it went well.
Put your fucking hands.
Oh my god. If it's not the RNG enemy screwing you over, if it's not the time restraint screwing you over, if it's not my controller bugging out, if it's not me being too slow at closing app, it's the game crashing itself. This is one of the platinum experiences of all time. Please fucking count. Yes. Oh my god, okay. Well, I've still wasted multiple hours because of that stupid mistake, but at least I can continue my hard playthrough. It just means I have to do the entire Iron Man mode from start to finish again. Peak game. The missions were fun and fair, but the crashes and terrible AI was so bad it just ruined the experience far too much. God, this game does just make you feel like a badass, man. When the game works, it is a lot of fun. The problem is, majority of the time, it doesn't fucking work. One of the final hard missions left was Relapse. This hospital taken over by freedom fighters was widely accepted as the hardest one in the game, but after understanding how this game works now, I have to say it wasn't all that. Jesus fucking Christ. This game's not real. It wasn't even that hard, bro. This was not a hard level. Onto the final hard mission, and this was a lot tougher for me. I again couldn't find the right loadout for my teammates, and the long open areas meant we got beamed from all angles. With the game crashing and me also crashing out, or teammates just going their own way, this took me the longest out of all missions, but with some lucky RNG, I eventually captured Batman to finish hard. Thank you. Going into the last run before the platinum by completing the entire game without dying for 2 separate trophies wasn't all that bad, come to think about it. Sure, it would have been nice to not have to do that, but I had so many miscellaneous trophies to go that I could do those whilst playing through each mission. like in the first one for only using commands to get through it, and for not using anything myself. Thankfully the teammates behaved, and I got those two done. The other few were for completing missions with set requirements, like this one with using only gas and gas masks. I heard that these trophies were glitchy for some, but these all popped without trouble for me. Next mission, I used the ram to announce Johnny's here 20 times. Then I accidentally blew up my entire team, but a quick close app worked wonders, so I then found the only collectibles in the entire game. But I was genuinely surprised how quickly I was getting through these levels now. My experience was showing, and I even managed to get through Greasy Palm's first try, breezing through the rest of the missions until I had to Wild West my way through an entire level using only a revolver. Alright, let's do this. Revolver only. Jesus, this gun shoots slow. I got you, brother. Hello, hello. Everyone being on their knees is so fucking good. That came out wrong, but it's true. Dude, there is no one. I hate it when I'm looking for a suspect, bro. Because they could literally be anywhere. Who the fuck are you? Jesus. Don't do that. What are you doing? Drop the gun. Don't be dumb. Puta madre. I got it though, surely. Please tell me that's it. If that's it, that's super easy. Yes! No way! Why is everyone complaining about these trophies? I'm having so much more trouble with different things that other people are saying. Different levels and different trophies. It's so weird. What a game. I then also took a civilian's final dose to get beat up, and did some unspeakable things that would have me end up on police activity by shooting innocent people myself to get my squad to end me. The last trophies remaining would all pop upon completing the final mission in the game to complete the no death runs. However, I had to do this final mission with a taser and flashbangs only, so doing this on a mission I already struggled multiple times with before would be a tough way to pop the plat. I'm entirely reliant on my AI teammates. Don't die. Do not die. Oh, this is incredibly nerve-wracking. Why aren't they fucking following my orders? Shoot him, please. Oh my god, the taser worked. That's insane. Oh. That was clutch. Oh no. No. What's going on? Why are they so aggressive here, bro? Please, no one. This is the last area my teammates can die. Don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. Holy shit. Holy shit. Fall in. Help me out, squad. No! Fuck's sake, man. No. Okay, we're entering the last part again. Come on, squad. This might be tech, actually. Just spam the nades here. Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. What are you doing, stupid AI, bro? Just fucking work. Like, honestly, man. Alright, final area. Don't screw this up now, squad. All civs. What else do I need to do? There's got to be one more enemy. Me and a taser between the most outrageous platinum I've earned in a long time. And he's not here. Oh no. Oh no, where is he? Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. Where is he? Did he die? He died. That's perfect. Where the hell is this last enemy, bro? Dude, what the fuck? Oh, I have an idea where he might be. So, yeah, that's him, that's him, that's him, that's him, that's him. That's him. That's him. No. Oh, please tell me that's the final one. Stupid commands, bro. Please tell me you're the final one. Yes. How many trophies? The world. That's one. Complete Iron Man mode. Ah, the platinum. Let's fucking go. Oh my god, what a joke of a game. What a fucking joke of a game, Ireland. Boltjorfola a washed-out game, bro. Oh my god. I just don't even want to speak one more second about this game. Ireland, I'm sure you're a great country. I love your football fans. But this ain't it. Like I said many times, the game is genuinely so much fun, but I won't be returning to finish the DLCs until they fix the game, because I don't want to spend another second in that buggy disaster. But at least Ireland provided one of the experiences of all time, and I would next tackle their neighbors. Home to 1.9 million people, ancient civilizations, Game of Thrones sets, birthplace of the Titanic, and Johnny Evans, I wasn't expecting Northern Ireland to have many games to pick from, and well, there wasn't. But I always find something that fits, and this time it was Billy Goat Entertainment's very own Her Majesty Spiffing. If you're a Star Wars nerd like I am, you might see where the logo's inspiration came from, so I was hoping to spot some references in this odd game. The name of the game is already very British, and when I opened up the game, that was confirmed. Right, so right off the bat, it starts with Buckingham Palace, and that's kind of what I was fearing. This is basically the English game. I mean, how much more English can we get? Honestly, I just don't know my UK lore like that, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But this British space adventure was a very Telltale-like game. Easy story with dialogue choices and some roaming around in small rooms. So when I looked at this James Bond Q lookalike, I got my first trophy.
Stop looking at me, boyo. You're starting to creep me out.
We basically have to get our British ship back on track and complete some small tasks. Of course, that included making some tea whilst talking about British villains to pop a trophy. The game threw in a lot of references to British entertainment, and even though I attended a British school whilst growing up, a lot of references flew over my head, but I'm sure some true British people would gobble this up. Not sure if the Northern Irish would, because I didn't see much to reference that. Wales! Wait, this isn't Wales, I'm sorry, this isn't Wales. Wales is up next. No Northern Irish flag. Wales is still coming up, but to not see anything related to the country this was from was interesting. To be fair, the game does have some funny moments, the occasional Star Wars reference, and a couple fourth wall breakages. It was funny and simple walking around, completing very basic tasks and popping the odd trophy here and there. Picking up items I would use later and repairing the cockpit. It was very British humor, so the game felt like it belonged here, but I was sad to not have seen anything for the Northern Irish. There were more Wales references than anything else, but the true British astronauts eventually stumble across their worst enemy, the French. French Han Solo and Chewbacca, however, weren't very nice, and we had to sabotage their ship. Yet before doing that, I had to unlock another fourth wall type trophy. Master of Unlocking Trophies. That is a unique trophy. I offer some frogs and cheese to the French and sabotage their ship to raise the Union Jack. God save the Queen. For Britannia. God save Her Majesty the Queen.
Why does it always rain in England?
Is that it? The Crown Jewels. Tell your friends, go buy the game. It's fun. It is fun. That surprised me. Not very Northern Irish, but it's as British as it gets. Hideo Kojima. What the fuck? Gurev Matagut, Northern Ireland. I always like these games that make fun of themselves, and this was a very fun short British experience. The next country was one that definitely does have some gaming history. With over 5.5 million inhabitants, kilts, the Loch Ness Monster, most castles per square mile, and some beautiful scenery, you might know Scotland's gaming history from the giants over at Rockstar North. Although I've already platinumed every GTA, and 6 is still a while out, so why not use this opportunity to try out former Rockstar president Leslie Benzies' latest game, Mind's Eye. I'm sure you've seen or heard about this game when it launched in the state that it did, but I honestly really wanted to check this game out myself and give it my own opinion. Welcome to Bedrock. Welcome to Scotland, you wee bastard. Sorry, I won't do that again. That was embarrassing. I was optimistic heading in, hoping the game had somewhat fixed itself. It takes place in a Las Vegas-esque future with robots, and it might sound cliche, but you can definitely feel a hint of Rockstar in those opening minutes in the way the world just builds itself. We play as Jacob Diaz, who has a mind's eye implanted in his head after being a former Marine, where he stumbled across whatever Ancient Aliens episode this is from. But he starts a new job at a tech company and I am given a gun. I'm guessing I take cover at these very conveniently placed rocks. Good thing I've played GTA before because those are the exact same controls. Oh god, this feels awkward. Shooting feels incredibly stiff, not gonna lie. You know, apart from the 30 FPS this game runs at, it's not ass so far. The game isn't open world because there's nothing to do, but you are free to roam around wherever you want. The missions though, well, those were very linear. Oh yeah, I wonder where I have to follow this guy to. It's just one long ass road. I don't want to bash on the game because even though I wasn't blown away, it was fine and held up to the low standards I had set. Link and Clay is on a mission to find out more about his mind's eye and discover why he has it. And after breaking into the CEO's office, I spot a blob to enter, which I think leads me into a side mission minigame. I wasn't exactly sure, but I did know that the devs focused heavily on side content and made a playground of game modes to enjoy. But I didn't think those would be very alive. Driving to and from between missions was what felt the most GTA-like. There wasn't a map or anything to fast travel with, and the long conversations in the cars provided some nice backstory. But soon this cool explosion plot twist happens, and I get this infamous sequence. Now this. Oh shit. Oh shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is this so hard? Why is this even a thing? What is the point of this? I've saved him. I don't know that, but I've saved him. Thank you, Trophy. I don't know why that's... This game is something. This game is interesting. However, the next mission right after had the exact same explosive setup. No, there's no shooting mechanic. Hey, at least we got GTA action cam. Dude, drive! Drive! It's not driving. Oh wow, that sandstorm cleared up quickly. Oh. Oh, 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 and there's no car flipping mechanic, is there? Oh, there is. Okay, W game mechanic. Oh, we're gonna get the infinite ammo mission. The infinite ammo mission. I wonder if they fixed it. Black pickup trucks going hard for these bad guys. They got a whole stack of them, bro. What'd I get that for? Eliminate 100 enemies. I'll take it. No infinite ammo anymore. I think I still need headshots though, no? I meet up with new hacker girl wannabe Judy Robin Hood and started aiming for those headshots. The gunplay really didn't land with me. The variation in weapons was nice, but it just felt a bit sluggish. The cutscenes on the other hand were very nice, and I think that's where the majority of the praise will come from. But they moved the story along so quickly that it was kinda hard to follow at times. Like there was no time to connect with characters before they've already moved on or switched emotions on you. I somehow land a bodyguard role with the CEO of the Silver Corp company I now worked for. We fly over the Las Vegas Grand Prix where he shortly after gets drugged at the mayor's political event. I chase after him and pop the 50th headshot in the meantime before, of course, saving him. I also unlocked a mini drone here and would use that to fuel the CEO's new revenge plot. There was a trophy tied to this where I had to fly through this vent without taking damage. Smooth flying. That was so easy. There wasn't even any wind or anything. Shortly after I got a different drone that I would use to stun 50 enemies with. So far, it was a decent action-adventure shooter. Nothing special, but far from the horror that launch apparently was. Also, not much Scottish influence, but maybe that'll change. I eventually meet the maker of the Mind's Eye, who is definitely an anime watcher, and he also had an arcade machine with a way too high quality minigame that wasn't even there for a trophy, just vibes. But the next mission kind of perfectly shows how most missions play out. I have to drive all the way to the solar farm, shoot some bots, plant a computer chip thingy, shoot more bots, and drive all the way back. Well, that was the case for most until I came across the most unique mission so far, and that was of course the inevitable stealth mission. Stealth is always a gimmick in video games, and this one especially just felt needless. Like, I prison break inside the prison, very GTA heist-like by just walking in. Then I have to do this really confusing puzzle, and then Schofield my way out, but that was awful. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, nice. Now where do I go? Wait, am I back where I was? Have I gone the wrong way? Have I actually gone the wrong way? Oh my god, I have, bro. Are you kidding me? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Fucking finally. Fuck me, that was awful. We gotta be sneaky. Breaking in is certainly easier than being... Yeah, fucking no shit it is. Fucking god-awful mission. That all annoyed me a little too much, and I had to take a quick munching break. So I came back later with an ice-cold Red Bull to prep for a rocket launch. I had to literally just look at this rocket for 5 minutes whilst it moved at a snail's pace from A to B. So yeah, but at least the story was progressing much quicker because I barely had time to understand what was happening. But this rocket launch was necessary because for some reason all the robots in the city were gonna go rogue due to some invisible virus. I think because a lot of dialogue happens during action sequences, my brain can't multitask and process what's happening story-wise. That isn't necessarily a mind's eye problem, but games in general, like I just can't focus like that. What the fuck? Dude, I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'd been stunning enemies all the time to work on that 50 stuns trophy, but there was also one collectible trophy in the game, and that was for finding all the guns. This wasn't very hard, and I just had to keep an eye out during the combat chapters they spawned. Jesus, calm your tits, man. What are you doing? I said I wasn't gonna do it, stop it. Right, there should be another gun here to pick up. Somewhere. Where's this? Oh, there it is. Peek. New gun, let's go. New weapon, 2 new weapons. Oh, that's only supposed to be possibly the next level. I'll take it. Wow, this thing sucks. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Never fucking mind that gun. Thing is, this mission I've basically done like 3 times already. Just waves and waves of enemies throughout the entire city. And unfortunately, the gunplay does not feel as crisp as you'd like it to be. For that to be a fun mission. The driving and the visuals, on the other hand, I fuck with that. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, I gotta jump out. Fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I did not die yet. Jesus, why is the fucking entire military here, bro? What the fuck? Get into cover, you dumb fuck. Get into cover, you dumb... Oh my god. He's just not even going into crouch. And for some reason, I'm not dying. Why is every bullet just doing 1 damage now? I'm healing already. Okay, fantastic game. Can I get in this car? Yep. I thought. Jesus. Oh my god, why is it on fire already? What the freak, man? Oh my god, there are so many. A little bit of Michael Bay action going on over here. That's how I die for the first time. Oh my god, that's not even real. Scotland, you wee bastard. Upon arriving in this lab again, I see the ultimate dweeb sex robot being used as a battering ram and have to defeat it as a mini-boss to pop another trophy. After that, there's some backstabbing PA drama and I have to dig my own hole, which was another minigame for some bizarre reason, but I got another trophy for completing that too. However, being the protagonist of this game, I obviously don't die and somehow make it out to shoot more infinite waves of bad guys. Wannabe Judy then defeats Cyborg Bad Guy and does a Liam Payne, and I have to now save everyone by launching another rocket because all the bots are now hostile. I make my way to the location and shoot some explosive barrels to kill the 25th enemy with an explosion, but this rocket thing in space I had to line up was one of the worst things in the game. This is the most unresponsive and unclear puzzle ever. I might be dumb, but I legit don't know what or how to do this. Oh, bruh. Okay. Shortly after that, I stun the 50th enemy, and I fly to the location from the very first flashback I had with the ancient aliens. Well, this feels very Assassin's Creed-y. Here I have to solve some kinda Indiana Jones puzzle, which after opening up the Dial of Destiny, upgraded my drone to the max after some wild flashbacks. The next room had another puzzle, which was cool to have something different to do, but it felt so out of place to the rest of the game, so after lighting up the Crystal Skull, I completed all underground puzzles. My mind's eye now has Jedi Mind Trick superpowers because of whatever orb was stored here, and I have to escape from the onslaught of enemies once more. I am really over this incredibly repetitive shooting encounters. The story was kind of wild now, with like actual ancient aliens being the cause of this orb and mind's eye madness, so hey, it ain't anything new, but it's pretty cool. I mean, they fixed the infinite ammo in one mission, but... Onto the final section of the game where I have to stop this orb and still have one weapon left to collect. There it is, final weapon. What I gotta do now, blast through these enemies. I swear I've probably killed over 10,000 of these bots. That's exaggerating. I've killed over 1,000 of these enemies. It's been the only thing this game's been letting me do. Not a single Scotland reference in the entire game, but thankfully it saved itself for last, which was probably the most exciting thing in a while.
Special delivery for Diaz. All the way from Scotland.
Scotland!
You're no kin.
Let me guess, I have to shoot more bots and more army. Yep, there we go. The second half of this game is nothing but doing this. It's incredibly boring. I'm dead. Oh, what a snooze fest of a fucking finale, bro. Kapoof. That's it. No way it ends on just that. No way it just ends on just... That's just flat the ending? No way, dude. What? Okay. That is a choice. I'll give it that. Scotland. To heat lat. I am pronouncing that very wrong. But that being said, not a terrible game. It's not great. It's definitely not great, but it's not as ass as the memes have made it out to be. I'll give it that. Second half of the game, but it's not ass. It's not ass. W Scotland. Scotland. That ending was definitely one I didn't see coming, but it concluded a very interesting platinum for Scotland. However, I don't think we'll be getting a sequel to Mind's Eye anytime soon, so who knows what the true ending actually meant. The penultimate UK country up next was a country home to 3.1 million people, 8.8 million sheep, Welsh cakes, and the Batcave. As Wales is yet another country I didn't think would have many games to pick from, but luckily there was one studio called Wales Interactive that had a few. Now they have a game called Made of Scare, or Scare, I don't know, but it's supposedly about Welsh folklore, but after doing some research read that was another glitchy mess. And after Ireland already traumatized me earlier, I really wasn't keen on anymore, so I chose to do one of their other popular games called The Bunker. This is a platinum unlike anything I had ever played before, because as you might be able to tell, it's real people. Yeah, no animations or anything, it's basically just an interactive movie. Last goodbye, but hello Kimru, that's chapter 2? To unlock the plat for this, I would have to find quite a few collectibles and get both endings, unlocking many trophies at the end of each chapter in a game that was set in a bunker, hence the name. It takes place during a nuclear fallout where I explore the bunker after being the only one alive. There are flashbacks to prior incidents and I have to point and click where I want to go or what I want to pick up. It's kinda slow and won't be winning any Oscars, or would this count for Game Awards? I don't know, I don't think it's up for either anyway because it kinda felt like it was made by high school students. I spotted the odd UK reference because all actors are also British, but I didn't see a single true Welsh reference. Trophies popped at the end of each chapter and when I picked up collectibles, which came in the form of chess pieces, letters and computers. I got very Black Mirror Bandersnatch vibes, which is now forgotten media, fuck digital only, but that was the only similar experience I had to this where I also had to make decisions on how to progress. It's not the worst story and does have its moments, but I also really didn't care too much. After I found the last few collectibles, I reached the ending where I get to stay or leave the bunker. I initially chose stay, but it didn't really have any effect on me either way as I completed the story to reload back into the last checkpoint, play through the 10-minute section with minor QTEs to pick the other ending and platinum the game. Breathe. Diolch Cymru. Diolch Cymru. Rot Hinin Unigru. Very unique. Definitely one of the most unique platinums I've ever gotten. Wouldn't say it was fantastic. Wouldn't say it was terrible either. Just, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was. W Wales. W Wales. Definitely one of the more memorable platinums I think I've ever gotten, but I really wouldn't say it was all that great for Wales. Hopefully the last game can provide something better, and that was the country with 58.6 million inhabitants, 3,000 red telephone boxes, some great and not so great food, His Majesty the King and the world's greatest football club. England was a country I had quite a few games to pick from. Games like No Man's Sky, Dead Island, the Need for Speed series, or even the peak English game, Peaky Fucking Blinders. But I opted for the most English game I could find, made by Rebellion.
Fall. Adam Fall. Adam Fall. Cake. We'll be on film.
Now I know there's no shortage of platinum videos on this game, but they never sponsored me, so it was now my time to take a look at this English Fallout Platinum. Well, I actually looked at the trophy guide first, because that does not look great. This 5-hour estimation is total bullshit by the way, and it wouldn't be the last thing I have to say about this guide. But there are multiple endings I need to get, and upon loading in, this was by far the most English game ever. The nature, villages, roads, phone booths, tea, and of course the accents.
It's the World Cup this year, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I hope England nabs it.
Genuinely, the amount of England references was overwhelming and too many to show, but there's still some funny ones for later. I was gonna try and get all 6 endings in one playthrough, which required me to set up all the storylines in the correct order in order not to void anything. So I met up with the captain first, and met up with this doctor soon after I got permission to enter the prison. And it's also where I found an important item in the game.
Libash.
Welcome to England, you mug. And, you know, this genuinely could not be a more confusing Platinum so far. That was the signal director that I could use on electronics, but I found the metal detector soon after that I would use for finding collectibles that were buried underground. I also needed to find 10 comic books, and fun fact by the way, I recently read my first comic and it was pretty awesome, so I might have to read a few more in the future. But I was just roaming around confused on where to go, trying to follow the guide step by step, so I figured out that this is one of those games where you pick and choose your ending depending on who you trust. But I still wasn't exactly sure where towards, like I was in a weird village close to a nuclear plant where some sort of secret facility was. The English phone booths kept ringing, but I wasn't allowed to answer them if I wanted to pop the trophy for not answering any during a playthrough. It was very mysterious, however I kept tracking down leads to progress character stories. It led me into the forest where I encountered weird cult people. What the fuck? Oh my, it's a plant shooting me. What the fuck? What are you doing? What are you doing? That plant is fucking overpowered. How is it hitting me from there? You're not fucking real. What is that? Across the map beamed, bro. I was trying to kill 10 of them with my throwing axe for a trophy, but I eventually make it past the Plants vs Zombies and head into their castle to track down my lead. You know, the enemies are kind of smart in this game, like they run away, retreat. I like it. After escaping the cult's castle, I do some jobless metal detecting and find the 5th hidden lunchbox. So I continued on to finally approach the big secret bunker facility that had been mentioned at the very start of the game. Here I have to find atomic batteries that I can use to power on all 4 cores if I eventually want to reach the Oberon. No idea what that is, but I knew I had to get there. Oh, and a trophy for it. God, the amount of effort I had to go through just to find a way to get that battery is fucking stupid. Like, if you're making a guide, make it useful. Don't just half-ass it, please. Yeah, I'll just mention it here for the final time, but this guide I was using was fucking awful. Like, I appreciate people putting in effort to make a guide. This hobby of ours genuinely wouldn't be the same without you, but please don't half-arse it then. Minor detail, I figured it out myself, but the guide says, get outside from the bottom door, which I did, right down there, and then it says, the building to the left. This is the building to the right. You can't go left. Like, it's just stuff like that, you know? I don't want to hate. How can I not? And I die. Peak. Maybe that's karma. I don't know about you, but I'd much rather have a difficult game rather than a confusing one. Anywho, I found the 5th audio log and the 50th letter shortly after, which I do want to say thank you to the devs for because they only require you to find that amount when there are so many more in the game, so this was awesome and came pretty naturally. My next objective was to activate the other 3 doors. However, reaching door Bravo was really hard because for some reason I wasn't allowed to enter that area anymore even though I had walked in freely just a short while ago. I couldn't get past them because it was literally an entire army, so I only saw one solution and that was to set my difficulty to easy and sprint past them. Thankfully that worked and I could start my search for more atomic batteries to power the 3 remaining cores. I found this one right after and would use that to power the Bravo door. Whilst traveling there, however, I came across a live robot, shot him and took his battery as well. So I powered on Bravo and then repeated that to get to Charlie and Delta, which were conveniently right next to each other, and I could now power on the core processor. I'd met up with all the characters needed, which meant it was now time to really set up the 6 endings. I first break out the dock from earlier and make a save right after. It's also where she tells me the Oberon is apparently a meteorite with useful materials and horrible cordyceps fungi. I power on the core and head towards the meteorite. On the way there, I come across the 10th and final comic before reaching the massive beautiful rock. Here I of course stumble across some English propaganda. Building a better British future. The glory of England. And I extract a sample from the Oberon, not sure why she wants it, but she's the smart one here, so I run back to her to escape this strange town. Expecting a call. Ooh, nice. Okay. And the other one. Okay, peek. She's evil. Oh, that's just straight up the end? That is so weird. I finished the game, but I still have like 5 endings to go. But at least that's 1 done. Yeah, I still wasn't exactly sure what I was doing, but I knew that I had to almost finish every storyline before progressing, so that's exactly what I did, and after doing so, headed back to the mineral where I made yet another save. I was just hoping I was doing the things correctly because I really didn't want to do another playthrough. But for this ending, I took another sample but self-destructed the place and headed to the second ending. Whoa, that's not very nice. The third ending was with the first character I met, and so I escaped with Captain Sims and the army. The next ending was with another dock, so I again destroy the Oberon and head out. I still had a few miscellaneous trophies remaining, but couldn't care less about those for now as my only priority were these endings. The last person ending, not last ending, was with the crazy cult lady, and she wanted me to jump into a hole, so I did just that. And that left one final ending for last, to escape with the telephone voice that I would have loved to have answered earlier. So all I had to do was head back to where I first started the game. Right, log one. This is the voice I keep hearing at every end. Pretty much there. Escape with the voice. I wonder if he has a face then. Or it's the dude that I originally met, like that weird ass scientist. Now that would be funny. Do I answer the phone here? Alright. Goodbye. Vamos. What a mysterious game. I don't even know which ending I like the most. I still have a ton of miscellaneous trophies and a speedrun to do. So let's do that next. But I was relieved to have done all endings and could now do the remaining things like powering a robot back on. Making my way to each location where I could attempt trophies, I came across whatever this Cool Runnings Easter egg was. But I later realized I didn't spot a peak Mr. Bean reference elsewhere because there are a huge amount of English entertainment Easter eggs in the game. But I next Red Deaded my way to 6 revolver headshots and then tried to get an enemy to drop a molly on themselves. But that was so difficult for some reason, it took forever to get them to do it. Thank you! Oh my god, that took so long. Then I did a fabulous English sport cricket trophy for hitting a nade with a cricket bat. I don't know shit about this sport though, except for the fact that it's a peak sports day memory for me. Before starting the speedrun, I headed into a bunker to find one last craftable recipe, but came across the entire 501st Legion that I had to take down. They had decent guns though, so I realized this was the perfect time to pick up 2 of them and craft a pristine weapon. To then use that to blast through the rest of the division and find the 12th and final recipe I needed. Again, so far I don't need to find all of them in the game and only a few because it makes collectibles so much more bearable. Which bridges itself perfectly into the final collectible trophy for getting gnomed 5 more times. I've almost platinumed the last UK country but still had to complete a speedrun in under 5 hours. Low-key this sounded very easy and after looking up a Reddit guide I could do this in about 30 minutes. So I ignored everything but the main objectives, took the shortest routes possible, blew up the Oberon again and headed back to my original spawn point in less than an hour. Dude, suddenly I get flashbacks that, like, these trophies often do not go smoothly for me. So please just pop it. Thank you. Okay. So now all I have to do is save a perfect trophy for last. And it is to eat, I don't know what it is, a Cornish pasty, but to eat one of these, eat a lovely slice of cake, and a cuppa. A little bit of cup of tea with milk, you weird freak. Why is it not popping? What the fuck am I doing wrong? Okay, apparently you can't drink from the tea, but if I eat, and eat, that does work. Hi, tea, yes lads. Abash, Pride of England. That is such a fucking fitting name to end this on, dude. Incredible. Thank you. Great Britain, W, and England, of course. For His Majesty the King. The Tesco Meal Deal trophy was a bit weird, but that's every UK country platinum. Let me know which country or region I should platinum next down below, but for now, if you want to see me platinum 3 random countries, you can check out this video. And that's it.